Okay, again, another trailer with no brakes, no parking brakes. Pretty sure they disabled them. I mean, I don't know how else you can explain no parking brakes and no service brakes entirely. I mean, glad I checked that. Oh. Well, that's it, hooked up. Had to slide my fifth wheel plate all the way back again. Well, here we go with the whole light's not working again. No light there. I don't even see one mid-drift. Oh, there's one down there. I don't think this one requires turn signals. It's old again. But fix that front one. This one's kind of lit. Bad ground. See how the I don't know if you can see in the camera, the running lights all basically turn off when the turn signals come on. Bad ground. Marker light missing there. Turn signal or marker light missing there. Marker light missing there. Well, this trailer's getting to be one of those nightmare loads. Fucking run forever. That tire in there is flat totally. Fuck's sakes. And they are some weird 255 70 22.5s. That tire's not looking very pretty either. Oh. Why? Pain in the ass. I'll wait for traffic so I don't die while going around my truck. Pretty out here though, I guess. But you can see that tire's it's gone. Well, so seeing the other stuff, you know, I have a flat tire. There's no brakes on this trailer at all. Most of the lights on the sides of the trailer don't work. I did the back taillights do work. There's a tire shop right next to where I parked. I'm in Paris, Texas. There's a tire shop right next to this Love's here. There's also another, like a chrome shop, repair shop right next to here. So in the morning I'm going to take this trailer over there. They're closed right now. Didn't get here for too late. But in the morning I'm going to take it over there and get the brakes adjusted and or fixed or looked at by somebody who knows more about trailer brakes than I do. I know how to slack them off. So what happened here is I went to go pick up this trailer. I knew it didn't have brakes when I picked it up. I just figured I'd go to a shop and have it looked at right away. But before I could get down the freeway, it towed all the way to the freeway on-ramp just fine, no brakes dragging or nothing. And then I stopped on the shoulder for a second, just because there was no internet connection where I picked this trailer up. I stopped on the shoulder to set my GPS so I knew where I was going. And I get going down the road and I feel like, okay, this trailer's either really heavy or something's dragging, and I look out the mirrors, and I don't think it took but half a mile, if that, from the time I got on the freeway, and smoke was just pouring out both sides. Sorry I didn't think to grab the camera, run back there and show that, but it was more important for me to grab the fire extinguisher and make sure my trailer wasn't burning down. And they weren't smoking that bad, like I said, half a mile. So by the time I got back to my truck to get my phone and to climb under there and look what was going on, the smoke had stopped. But the brakes on this trailer don't have automatic slack adjusters. They just have manual slack adjusters, and for whatever reason they had tightened to the point where they were stuck on the whole time. So I climbed under there and fixed the rear brake slack adjusters, which was pretty easy to access. But because this is a carnival ride, there's a tire under there that turns the whole unit around, and that tire was right up against the adjustments for the slack adjusters, and I couldn't get my wrench in there to work on it. So the guys that I bought it from came and got that loose. I drove the trailer back to their place, and they proceeded to work on it for 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. I ended up falling asleep sitting in my seat, was bored. Sat out there and BS with them for a while, but eventually it was just like, okay. Sat here while they were running to the store to get parts or whatever, and fell asleep, and they were working on it. But anyway, they tell me, okay, they're done, and you should have a little bit of brakes now, but they aren't a lot of brakes. And I don't have any brakes. I've checked multiple times. You can pull the trolley valve all the way down. I don't know what, recently I haven't got it out since I pulled into this parking spot. You can see I'm just at the truck stop in the parking spot here. I haven't got out to check why. So this is the trolley valve here. I don't know if you can hear that. Hear that hissing? That means now it's leaking. The air pressure should not be dropping like that just by applying the brakes, which means something else. Hopefully it's just the hose has come disconnected or something. But either way, I'm gonna walk around the truck here and I'll show you the lights that aren't working, and I will pop underneath so that you can see what the slack adjusters look like and what the problem I was dealing with. Then I'm going to go into Love's and see if I can pick up and buy some marker lights. Hopefully they have some here. I can get that done before we go to the shop. I don't need to pay somebody $100 an hour to change a marker light, as long as all I have to do is replace the lights. Anyway, let me hop out and I'll get to that. So as you can see, my lights are on. Oh, well, there would be why my hose was hissing. Didn't stay on glad hand. It didn't stay on there because that's turned sideways. They're supposed to be up and down like this, so that gravity kind of helps you. Otherwise, when you turn, this happens. I'll have to get a zip tie and zip tie that together. But so that light here doesn't work. So you can kind of see this tire right here, it spins the whole deal. Well, there's another one of those tires like that up underneath the back. Yeah, there's a light that was working that's not now for some reason. You go in the back and make sure the lights are on before I start messing with them, because this one's not on either, nor are the ones in the back. So we'll go see why they're such a pain. I'm guessing when that air hose came out, it tugged the electrical cord too. Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention. It's laying right there. So I'm thinking, so anyway, still you can see that light's not working. That light down there now is working. Get my fat ass underneath the truck. So, see that tire there? On the back side of these air cans is a slack adjuster, and since it's easier, I'll go to the other side. But they're right up against that tire. You can't even get a wrench in it. But I see that. So that air line down there is obviously disconnected and supposed to be going somewhere. That air line right there is plugged off. Oh, it isn't even plugged off. It's just wide open. I don't know what it's supposed to go to. You can see that tire back there has seen better days. Anyway. Yeah, that tire. But so there's a slack adjuster. You can see that bolt on the back of that slack adjuster. That's how you adjust the slack in the can, just like the name implies. And you see where that bolt is. That bolt on the other one's right up against the tire. And that tire is flat. It's got two sidewalls left, that's it. But so that light's partially burned out. I actually messed with it and had both of them working at the other one. See? Both of those are working. But that one, have to replace because it's totally missing. That one down there, you see, totally missing. And then this guy right here. Don't work. But so I'll go inside and see if I can get some of these tires or some of these lights for it, and then tomorrow I'll have to go in and have them fix the, well, look at that. See this thing? I don't know where this was before, but it wasn't sitting like this. I'm guessing it was hanging up there. It must have had to been. But so I'm gonna have to get this secured. Look at all that dunnage and just kind of loose stuff up here. I'm gonna have to get some small ratchet straps and just tie all this stuff down. This tote's just sitting here. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. It's full of heavy metal. It's as good as being in the bed of a pickup truck with that. See, I can't go past that, but still, this piece was not sitting like this when I left. This piece, I can guarantee, was up there with that stuff, and for some reason wasn't tied to it. Anyway, let me go see if I can get this shit fixed and working. So this is for you guys, but it's also for Ron, the guy that owns the trailer. You wonder why I buy expensive lights. Because the cheap ones are sold out, and seems like no one has them at the truck stops. All they've got, these are the style of lights, and all they've got is these fancy LED ones. But the positive part about the LED ones is they won't burn out real quick. Need 2 of these ones, 1 red one. I need actually an extra yellow one that they don't have. Wonder if, yeah, that looks like it could be bolted to the same.
My gentleman with the high wings, you are ready.
Same holes. But anyway, yeah, you can see those standard lights just aren't here. I'm gonna see if I can find bulbs to fix the one that's just got burnt out bulbs but still has the lens cover, but I don't see those either. They're little tiny. They've got these ones, but these are the slide-in type. The ones that were in there looked like 1156s, except tiny, and they don't have those here. I don't see any anywhere else, so that's what you're getting. So here I am in Vega, Texas. Finally got everything working right. We have lights all the way around it now. Finally got a good night's sleep, which was nice. But yeah, we got these fancy LED ones. That's all they had. And this is our morning pre-trip. I do have one hose hanging underneath. I am not climbing under that thing again. It's like the 5th trip under there. And the hose was already dragging here, so it's not gonna matter. There's actually 2 of them dragging. But the metal ends have already been ground off, and they're just dragging on rubber at this point, so I don't have to worry about sparks. And I just, like I said, they're gonna have to be replaced anyway. I tightened up that strap this morning. Let me check again. This strap is kind of hooked in a weird spot on the other side, so it doesn't stay very tight. That's it though for that. Another trip around the carnival ride. A brand new light. I don't really like the way they ran that wire out of there and then grounded it, but whatever. Usually a fellow will mount that underneath. I had to climb up there. You see the orange strap holding that on. One of those racks had fallen down. I threw a strap over that. So hopefully, well, I don't think that's going anywhere anyway. It's heavy, and there's a ledge there, and it would literally have to flip over there. There's some wood dunnage over there that's, I guess, sort of not secure, but I don't know. It's secure, but it's not going anywhere, is my point. That light down there is working now and replaced. And then of course that one there. They did a little bit better job with that one. Still got wires on the outside, but whatever. It's old carnival ride. Speaking of wires, I gotta get like something to hold all these wires that keep hanging down here up. I gotta get that fixed too. How well you can see it, that oil leak probably half a quart to a quart on the ground right there. Tomorrow I will tomorrow I'll have to check the oil and see if it's needs added again. So far it's only been going through about a gallon a month. It looks like a lot more oil than it is because the AC drips water down on it, which then of course makes that puddle look way bigger than it is. So it's oil mixed with the AC condenser water. Also, that's why I ignore those engine lights half the time, the ones that say ABS and everything else. Couldn't tell you why, but don't have any ABS or traction control lights on anymore. It's just something this truck's done since I've got it. The light will come on, it'll stay on for a week. That last time was the longest, it was on for almost a whole month. But sometimes it comes on for a day and then goes out, and other times it goes on for a week or so and then goes out. I would just fix it, but it's a different code every time. It's not like it's same relay that says it's not working or something. No, it's something totally random every time that I don't think has anything wrong with it. It's just a random code. So I think maybe the computer that controls it might be bad or not grounded right or getting weird signals, who knows. But it hasn't affected my braking at all. I still have anti-lock brakes despite the light comes on and says ABS system. I still have traction control despite the fact that it comes on and says that there's something wrong with it. So that's why I really haven't worried about that. This truck will be paid off in about 4 months. And when it's paid off, I will have an extra $1,800 a month to put it fixing some of this stuff that's been broken for a while. And maybe when I have an extra $1,800 a month, I will be more willing to load the parts cannon at the ABS system and just fire away until stuff starts working right. Or I should say, it all works right, so just until the light stops coming on. And then that oil leak, it's behind the turbo, it's behind the, I don't know if it's probably the same damn thing that Robert had. You know, these Mack engines, well, any engine in a chain of engines, they all have common problems, and most likely I have the same problem Robert had from South Georgia Hot Shot. And I have a problem with the oil cooler on the side of the block leaking, whether that be a hose or the seal that seals it to the block. I don't know, but it's leaking, and that's where all that oil is coming from. And maybe it's not that, maybe it's something else. But the problem is in order just to find out whether you have a little tiny hose leaking or you have a crack in the side of the block, you have to take the turbo off, the exhaust manifold off, the EGR cooler off, just to be able to see the side of the engine. And if you're paying somebody, that's a good $1,500 worth of work. And I don't, here's my thing. If I take it to a shop and the shop breaks a bolt in the side of my head, the shop then fixes that bolt in the side of my head. Whereas if I take it home and pull a Robert and take my whole side of my engine apart myself, and that happens at home, well, then I'm stuck with a semi-truck that weighs 20,000 pounds that doesn't run at my house with broken parts hanging off the side of it. And on top of all the time I spend, I then have to pay to have it shipped. And I'm just not confident enough in my abilities mechanically to start working that deep into the engine. And I don't have enough of a nest egg to take the risk where, then you have to pay towing, and then you have to pay for the repair again. And I say pay for it again because when you stop and work on your own truck, it's not free. It's time. It costs time. And if I go home and work on my truck for 3 or 4 days to get it fixed, that's not really home time. That's not spending time with the family or rest and relaxation. Well, that's time out working on the truck, and I don't get paid for that. So it's the equivalent of $20 an hour, $25 an hour, or whatever it figures to, without getting paid. And sure, you're getting paid if you can save over the mechanic cost at the shop. But again, I'm not confident in my skills enough to say for sure that I can outperform the shop as far as money to expense ratio there. But if I drop a turbo or something or make a mistake, a turbo, then another $1,800 if I accidentally drop a turbo and I break the housing or something. And so that's why I have the shop do it. If the shop fucks something up and I can prove they fucked it up, I can call them on it and they can fix the rest of it that doesn't work right. And that's just why for the big stuff like that, I just take it into the shop. If it was something peripheral on the engine that's easy to get to, and I don't know, even the simple stuff on this truck, like the other day I had a belt idler tensioner that went bad. That's on one of my carnival ride videos, and it took 2 guys. I watched them because I was sitting right here in my seat, and I could see, just over the dash where they were working. It took 2 guys that were really working at it a solid 4 hours to get that tensioner out, because there's no space under there, and they had to take both belts off and get the tensioner off. And the belt that was on the bad tensioner, they just cut that, and they were going to try to save it for me, and I said, well, just cut that thing, because why waste all the time on it? It already has a bunch of chewing on it because the tensioner was bad. So they replaced that belt and replaced the tensioner, and I couldn't have done that myself on the side of the road. And even if I could have done that myself on the side of the road, we would have been talking about a day and a half, 2 days of just miserable fucking pulling belts off, laying in the dirt, working. So I may as well pay somebody else to do it, There's no perfect answer, and I'm not even trying to say that like Robert or even like CP Miller Steve, whatever, there with his hotshot truck does it wrong, that he works on it himself. I mean, if you have the skill to work on it yourself and you can get it done cheap, it's all about time. If you can do it faster than it would take you to go to a shop, drop your truck off, come back the next day and have your truck, then do it. But yeah, I just can't I just can't, like I said, gamble that and make it make sense for me. But anyway, I'll stop yakking and stop going over. I'm so bad. The reason I'm stuttering right now and losing track of what I'm thinking about, I see these 2 street sweepers off in the distance over here, and this is like the 3rd time they've passed each other, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing. I don't know. Is it street sweeper races? Because that's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But there's a crew just doing their thing. I don't know. I have ADHD 10.0, so that's why that happens. I'll let you go. I'll get more video down the road. Hopefully we get this delivered. I got 2 more days to deliver this. I am in, what did they say the town was? I don't know. I'm at a Valero gas station at the here in Texas. I'm about 2 hours away from New Mexico on I-40, and like I said, 2 more days driving, and this will be delivered in Fresno, California. Empty now. Delivered Ronald's carnival ride. Got a Flying J, so where I'm going to park for the night. I already took a shower, which was much needed. And Ron hooked me up with a load for another guy, not him, not hauling for Ron, but hauling for another guy named Robert. Hauling another carnival ride. Unfortunately, this carnival ride again doesn't have brakes. I really don't want to be known as the guy that hauls trailers with no brakes. I'm willing to do, I'm willing to do a job on a trailer that has no brakes once in a while to do somebody a favor or to get it somewhere where it can be fixed. But doing it as a practice, eventually I'm going to get caught, and eventually I'm going to get some big ticket. And my MC number's clean. I don't need any grief. I don't need to be getting pulled in all the time because I pulled somebody's trailer that didn't have brakes. Anyhow, it's only a short run, little 90-mile jaunt. I told the guy in the future I won't pull it without brakes. He's understanding, says he'll have them fixed for me next time I come out there to pull them. But I think next time I show up and a guy says it has brakes and it doesn't, I'm going to be like, look, either you're going to pay me a lot of money to take this risk, or you're going to get the brakes fixed, because I'm tired of pulling trailers with no brakes. Again, pull one, you might get away with it. Pull two or three, you might get away with it. Start pulling them every day, eventually, it's just a numbers game, you will get caught. And or you'll end up wrecked somewhere because the trailer brakes aren't working properly. You have to give yourself a lot of extra stopping distance when you effectively only have 2/3 of the brakes that you're supposed to. When you're looking at a truck and the rear two axles aren't braking, most of the braking's done by the drives anyway. Basically the steers stop the truck, the drives stop the trailer, and the trailer brakes are just there to help. But it's not a safe business practice, and it's not one that's going to win you any points with the DOT when you finally do get caught. Ironically, this guy comes flying in here like a bat out of hell. Like, bro, but you only got 1 minute. I'm not sure why my phone just stopped, but those usually pay pretty decent too, and I would just like the opportunity to be able to haul them. The more as a power only driver, since I don't have the trailer, the more you're able to do, the better chance you're gonna make good money. And so that load I hauled from Louisiana to California. I made roughly $5,000 on it. Comes out to $3-ish a mile, give or take a few cents. This load that I'm hauling now, Lancaster to LA, is $750. But the actual load only goes 90 miles. I did deadhead 200 some miles down here, but it was on a Sunday and there's not really a whole lot. You're not going to pick up a load usually on Sunday, so deadheading down here wasn't a big deal. And landing in LA area is that's ideal for a power only. LA has a lot of stuff leaving LA, and you can almost always find a good rate. Last time I was in LA, I found a $4 a mile load out of LA up to Washington. I would love to find another one of those. Feels really good when you make $4,000 to only go 1,000 miles. You start paying stuff off quicker and getting stuff right on your truck. Like this deal here. I hate the fact that my dashboard's like jerry-rigged here. I'd like to get that fixed. And the automatic traction control light thing that comes on this, it's been on and off, but it's been on more than it's been off recently, and hopefully I can finally pin down what exactly is wrong with it. I keep looking at myself here and it looks like I'm looking sideways, but it's because the camera's off the edge of the thing. So if I'm looking at myself, that's what it looks like. It's kind of goofy. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. This will be the end of this video, and hopefully some people start watching it here soon. I got to figure out a way to promote these videos. Anyway.